Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we're covering a really important new topic, 1.2, introducing ISO/IEC 42001, the AI Management Standard. This is a brand new global standard that is seriously going to change how organizations everywhere handle artificial intelligence. We're going to break down what it is, how it works, and why it's suddenly one of the most important new rule books in the tech world. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's just start with the biggest question on everyone's mind right now. We're all in this race to adopt AI, right? But how do we actually manage its unbelievable power while at the same time navigate all of the hidden and kind of scary risks? It's a massive challenge, and it's exactly what we're here to unpack today.
So to really get why we even need a whole new standard for this, you have to look at the two sides of the AI coin, the incredible power it holds, and the very real problems it creates.
On one hand, the promise is just huge. We're talking about game-changing innovation, the ability to automate incredibly complex tasks and literally reshape entire economies. But, the flip side is just as powerful. We're dealing with major ethical risks, totally new legal and societal challenges, and operational dangers we're really just beginning to wrap our heads around.
And this is where it all comes together. To get through this new world safely, having a standardized playbook for how you govern AI isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it's absolutely essential. It's about survival, really.
And that essential playbook? Well, it finally has a name. It's a brand new global solution called ISO 4001, and it's been designed from the ground up to be the answer to this challenge.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, ISO/IEC 42001 is the world's very first international standard for what's called an AI management system, or AIMS for short. The best way to think about it is like a universal blueprint that shows you how to build and manage your AI systems responsibly, making sure they're ethical, secure, and transparent. And you should know, this is incredibly new. It was just published on December 18th, 2023. So this standard isn't playing catch-up. It was built from scratch for the AI challenges that we are all facing right now. This standard goes right for the jugular. It tackles the hardest issues head-on. We're not just talking about typical IT security here. We're talking about the really thorny stuff, like getting rid of algorithmic bias, locking down data privacy, and, this is a big one, demanding transparency. That means you have to be able to explain why your AI denied someone a loan, for instance. It's all about creating real accountability.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. But the real question is, how does it all work in practice? Let's take a look at the actual blueprint. Now, here's the brilliant part. They didn't reinvent the wheel. It's built on a framework that many organizations already know, called Annex SL. It's the same master blueprint used for huge standards like ISO 27001 for information security. So what does that mean for you? It means if you're already using those standards, plugging this new AI one in is designed to be a pretty seamless process.
And at its very core is a simple but really powerful loop, the plan, do, check, act cycle. It's common sense, really. First, you plan your AI goals. Then you do them. You put the system into action. Next, you check your work. You monitor everything and measure how it's going. And finally, based on what you learned, you act to make things better. It's a constant cycle of learning and improving.
Now, that high-level structure is great, but where does the rubber actually meet the road? Well, that's where the annexes come in. This is all about turning policy into real-world practice. Let's dive into Annex A, because this is where the theory gets real. Think of it like a control library, or maybe a better way is a toolbox. It's just filled with specific tools and actions you can use to manage whatever unique AI risks your organization is facing.
And these tools are incredibly practical. For example, maintaining human oversight. That's not some vague concept. It means a real person, like a doctor, must be able to review and override an AI's diagnosis. Model testing means you are rigorously checking for bias before that algorithm ever gets to affect a real person's life. These are tangible, common-sense safeguards.
So, after all that, let's get down to the bottom line. Why would any organization go through all this effort? Let's talk about the strategic payoff, because there definitely is one. Adopting this standard brings some massive benefits. First off, it builds trust with your customers, your partners, your regulators. It gives you a clear, structured way to handle all those unique AI risks we talked about. And with big new regulations like the EU AI Act on the horizon, it helps you get ahead of the curve on compliance. And when you put it all together, it gives you a serious competitive edge as a leader in responsible AI. And it's so important to see that this standard isn't meant to live on an island. It's designed to harmonize with the systems you might already have. So if you use ISO 9001 for quality and 27001 for security, then this standard, 42001, just slots right in. It's the missing puzzle piece for handling your AI-specific risks.
So who is this actually for? Just the big tech giants? No way. It's for everyone. It's designed to be universally applicable. It doesn't matter if you're a huge company building AI models, a small startup using an AI service, or a government agency. If you touch AI, this framework is for you.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question. Look, the age of AI is already here. We're living in it. But the age of trustworthy AI, well, that's not a given. That's something we all have to build together. So the real question I'll leave you with is this. Is your organization ready to lead the way?